welcome back. Today I'm getting ready to go get a Walmart grocery order. I did Walmart today. I didn't do Aldi. Like, I can't believe I did that. Walmart instead of Aldi pick up or run in Aldi or whatever. But we got a kind of not really big Walmart order for the rest of the week, and I'm also going to be starting back my sourdough baking today. A little backstory with that. Of course, I'm very new to this, so I'm sure some of you sourdough experts are probably going to see some of the stuff I do and be like, I probably wouldn't do it that way. So if you see something, feel free to tell me anything I do like not the right way. But today's the first day I baked in like a couple months. So a little bit of backstory with my sourdough. So my starter is in here. It is starting to rise. I don't know if y'all see that, but I keep my under lights on, but I've got them off for now. I'm gonna cut them back on before we leave. The little bit of extra heat from the under the cabinet lights really helps with getting it to rise a little quicker. But a little bit of a backstory towards like the beginning of the year. I don't remember even when we started them. I started my starter. The first time I tried to do a starter was a total fail. And then I come across Farmhouse on Boone's starter recipe. Now I followed hers a good bit, but not completely, because even when I followed hers, I felt like my starter was too thin. And when it's too thin, it doesn't rise appropriately and it's hard to get active. So I found the thicker the starter, the better it does. So I kind of followed her recipe. So I do the majority of like, all-purpose flour and then a little bit of whole wheat flour to go in it as well, and that whole wheat flour just gives it a little bit of extra boost. So we've got I had my starter active, like it was doubling like it was supposed to. It was an active starter. And then like when one of the kiddos went in the hospital, we were gone for several days. I had it in my cabinet. I came home and it had mold on it, so I had to throw that starter out. But me and my sister-in-law started our starters together, and hers was still good. She had been keeping hers in the fridge. So a few days ago, I went ahead and got half of her starter, a little bit of her starter, and I started back. And it has been doing so well, super active. So I'm gonna let it double. We're gonna start making, I'm gonna do a round artisan loaf today, and I'm gonna do Farmhouse on Boone's beginner recipe for that, and just kind of see what we think. Even when I was baking before, I had not perfected a loaf. Like, it was still a little gummy in the middle. Scoring it was kind of tough. Like, I definitely didn't perfect it. And then I even tried sandwich bread, still didn't love that recipe. So for today, I'm actually gonna try an artisan loaf. I won't be able to bake till tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to bring you along for that whole process of starting it back up. And then the next one, I'm gonna try a sandwich bread. So we're gonna start with the artisan loaf and then do a sandwich bread. So I fed it about almost 2 hours ago, and so probably within a couple hours it'll be ready to go. It is definitely rising. So within a couple hours it'll probably be ready, and we'll start our process of getting it ready. I'm excited to start that back up because it's been a while, and I definitely didn't want to give up on that. Even though my starter got moldy and I had to throw it away, I really wanted to start it back up and continue that. And I really want to perfect like a sandwich loaf, but also do some like inclusions, like different add-ins to them as well. So if y'all have some favorite recipes, you'll have to let me know. I know I've had several people send me things, some like discard recipes and things like that. But for now, let's head to Walmart. I'm gonna pick up my grocery order. I'll share that with y'all. We're gonna restock the things that I got. I also got a new dinner to try. We may do that tonight because it looks so yummy. So I'll share that with y'all if we end up doing it tonight, and just come along for our day. All right, before I head out, I have not filled up my water this morning, so we're gonna do that with my electrolytes. If y'all didn't see, in my last video that I posted, I shared my code to get some free things with your first purchase of Element. I love this stuff. I don't know why this stuff. Let me open it with scissors this time. This is so yummy. The citrus one is my favorite. So if you missed that video, my code or my link is drinkelement.com/homewithhailey, and it gets you some free stuff. It's so yummy, especially the citrus one. There's lots of other flavors, but all right, let's head to Walmart. I'm gonna try to drink lots of water today. It is very hot here in North Carolina.
Good morning. I had a mobile order for Haley.
Somehow my kids talked me into Starbucks, and I told them we're not doing this for a long time. I've actually been promising them Starbucks for a while now, and I honestly hardly ever come to Starbucks anymore just because I just love my coffees at home. But they love the new like boba summer drink that they have. One of them got that. One of them got a caramel ribbon. I don't say caramel. Caramel ribbon crunch. I get the cream base instead of like the Frappuccino coffee based for them. And one of them got a cake pop. So I told them after the total that I just spent, I was like, we're gonna do this today, but this is something that we're not gonna do very often because that was just a treat because I've been promising them for a while now. All right, we are home. I was gonna give y'all a starter update. So it has been almost 3 hours since we fed it, I believe. Yes, almost 3 hours, not quite 3, almost. And it is, let me see if I can show you.
It is still like kind of a dome shaped, so it's not quite ready yet. So I'm gonna try to get these groceries up, and by the time I get all that done, I'm probably just about ready.
So let's show y'all what I got for dinners and just a few things. I didn't get a really big grocery order, but thought I'd show y'all the things that I did get today. I need a couple seasonings. We are just about out of our cinnamon sugar. Paprika, I think we're just about out of that as well, or maybe be completely out. Lemon juice, we're gonna do this like smothered chicken that looks so good for dinner one night this week. My crushed hamburger buns. I got some bottled water, and the worker like put the water on top of my hamburger buns. Provolone cheese, a couple things of turkey pepperoni. Cal was so excited whenever he saw the mini bell peppers. He loves these, and I haven't got them in a few weeks, so I got some Laughing Cow cheese and some of those mini bell peppers for him and for me because I love that snack too. We got some applesauce. We're just about out of peanut butter. Also needed mushrooms. I had an onion. Are you playing with your dump truck? We had an onion to go with our dinner. Got some strawberries, some easy baked potatoes. Hey, can you bring that way? Can you bring it in your room? Anyways, I really like these. They're just so easy in the microwave to cook. And I don't know, I just typically buy those for baked potatoes. We're gonna do that with our smothered chicken when we do that. Mandarin oranges, I think we're just about or pretty much out of those. We got some breakfast meat. We're gonna do easy breakfast for dinner. So we got sausage and bacon to go with that. I also grabbed these little blueberry snack muffins. Thought the kiddos might like those. I hadn't got these in a long time. Mini corn dogs. So I grabbed some of those, and we are just about out of both of these, ketchup and mustard. Got some microwave popcorn. The kids always love to snack on that. I got these for Cal because he really likes these. Also got some of these chewy chocolate chip granola bars. We needed Cheez-Its. I got some more pancake mix, a couple Little Debbie snacks, some chicken breasts. We got a couple purified waters to go with our sourdough. I needed some of that to go with our sourdough bread, and a couple things of milk as well. So that's our grocery order. I'm gonna try to get this fridge cleaned out and get all of this restocked. Restocked, almost everything put away on my counters or on the table, but I'm gonna get started with my sourdough. My starter looks pretty ready, so it's pretty bubbly on the sides, on top for the most part. I think it's ready. I might could give it a little bit longer. I think it's ready though. So that's kind of how it's looking. So we're gonna get started with it. I'm over here debating if I should give it just a little bit longer because it still looks slightly, maybe slightly, not really though. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. All right, so I'm going to warm up some water. Her recipe and the recipe that I've used before calls for warm water. Okay, water's warmed up, so we're ready to go. What I love about sourdough is it's literally a few ingredients and it makes bread. So I've got everything here. We've got our warm water, we've got our active sourdough starter, we've got some salt. I actually got this pink Himalayan salt and some unbleached flour, all-purpose flour. You can also do bread flour as well. We're gonna try to get through this without being too interrupted. 325 grams of warm water. All right, 325. Now we're gonna do, I'm looking at my phone, 100 grams of active starter. Passes the float test. Oh yeah, yes, it does pass the float test. Mine's not always passed the float test when I baked, which I know everybody says it needs to be floating on top of the water. So 475. All right, 475 exactly. Now let's go ahead and add our salt. We need 10 grams of salt. Okay, that's 11, but I think it'll work. All right, so I know I've seen other recipes like do salt, kind of add things differently, but I'm just gonna follow her recipe and see what we think of it once it's done. And we can always tweak things, do a new recipe another time. Like next time I could try like someone else's recipe if I don't love this one. But we're gonna give her recipe a try. So I'm gonna get all this combined really well. I think I might go ahead and use my hands to combine this some. If you will go wash your hands, I'll let you do this really quickly. Okay? Just kind of take your hands and start combining it.
Wait.
Just kind of do like, just kind of, yep.
That's warm.
Yeah, it's really sticky and warm.
And it's really good.
You want to see it? So we've got this combined. So now I'm going to take, I don't remember if I cover this with my tea towel or this. I don't remember if these little plastic covers fit this bowl. Yeah, I'm going to do my tea towel. I couldn't remember which one I did in the past. I feel like I've got to refresh my memory for all this. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit for 30 minutes on the counter. We will be back in 30 minutes to start our stretch and folds. All right, I'm now making my lunch. I didn't meal prep this week. I'm gonna try to get back to that next week. I'm making my lunch. I'm making hash browns first, like a breakfast type lunch. But the recipe that I followed before is, I think, from the Sourdough Mom. I think that's what her account was. It was her same day sourdough bread recipe. So I'm hoping by doing it this way, which I'm trying to remember, did I do another kind that wasn't same day? I think hopefully by doing it this way will make it even better. Kind of doing it, it's gonna be like all day, overnight, and then bake like in the morning. So hopefully it'll be even better doing it this way. I'm excited to try this versus what I've done in the past before. We're gonna do our first round of stretch and folds. All right, so I'm gonna take the dough. We're gonna do this 2 more times. This is what her recipe says, 2 more times. So 3 rounds of stretch and folds total. Now we're gonna cover it, and then 30 minutes later we'll do our second one. We're just gonna like go through this whole process together. 2 more rounds, and then it will be sitting for several hours before we do anything else to it. All right, we're gonna do our next set of stretch and folds. I'm gonna try to do this a little bit more efficiently. I feel like I didn't do the best job with the last one, so I'm gonna use both hands. Make sure I do a good job with it. We just take it and go around the bowl like 4 times. 30 more minutes, 1 more set. Also, with the second one, I can already start to tell like a little bit of a difference with the dough. All right, last set of stretch and folds. I'm gonna go wet my hands. All right, and then after this, we will have several hours. This is really looking so nicely as I'm doing this last set. I can tell a difference in the dough for sure. All right, last set. All right, we are gonna let this cover. I'm gonna put it in my cabinet and turn my cabinet lights back on so it's a little bit warmer. It does better with a warmer environment. We're gonna cover and put it in there for 6 to 12 hours. I'm actually gonna take a picture of it. I always have trouble figuring out like when it actually doubles, like remembering that. So I'm gonna take a picture of it and hopefully we'll see how long it takes. So it is 1:15 right now, which means hopefully between like 7 and 9 p.m. we can get this finished up, shaped, and in the fridge, I think is the next step. So we're gonna see how long it takes to double. I'm gonna cover it, stick it with the lights on, keeps it just a little bit warmer. So let's see, 6 to 12 hours, hopefully not 12, hopefully more like 6 to 8 hours. All right, we have almost 7 o'clock update. I'm trying to remember the time that I finished it. It's been not quite 6 hours, but it has risen a lot compared to what it was. It's like very bubbly, pretty smooth instead of like shaggy like it was. So we've got bubbles like kind of all around it. So we are now, it's done bulk fermenting. I let it go for close to 6 hours. Cut my lights off under here so y'all can see a little better. So close to 6 hours, and it honestly has been doubled for a little bit. So I didn't want to let it go too long. On her recipe it says 6 to 12 hours. But I feel like in the summertime, like it has definitely risen more than when I was doing it like in the winter time, like February or so. I feel like it definitely doubled a lot better. So I just cleaned my counters. I'm gonna go ahead and, I can't remember if I flour the surface. I think I do a little bit. Okay, this is taking a while. We're gonna continue using my little scraper here. Get the rest. Okay, there we go. All right, so here it is. I'm going to kind of start shaping it. I'm telling y'all, I was texting somebody earlier and I'm like, I felt like all my sourdough knowledge that I kind of like had before, it's been so long that I've like forgotten so much of it. I was like, I felt like I did not perfect it, of course, but I feel like I had so much more knowledge with it before. All right, so I'm going to fold it in on both sides. We'll go this way. All right, now we're gonna start doing our little twists. I feel like I'm not the best with this. Trying to show y'all how good it's looking so far. It's looking pretty smooth. I let it sit for just a few minutes and reshaped it just a little more, and it definitely helped smooth it out even more than it was. So now we're gonna transfer it to our banneton basket that I have already seasoned and ready to go. So my banneton basket is seasoned with rice flour. I have this little thing that I kind of season it with. It's already got plenty in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and place the pretty side down. And then a lot of other things I'm seeing is, I did not do this before, is kind of twisting it this way to make sure that tension on the other side kind of stays. Okay, so now that that is done, we're gonna cover it. Let me grab my little plastic wrap. And so I'm gonna take one of these and we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna let it stick, or let it stay in the fridge to let it finish up overnight. I'm actually gonna flour it just a little bit in case it rises. I don't know if it's gonna rise anymore. We're gonna let it stay in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow in the morning we will be ready to bake. So it is 7 o'clock right now, so we need to let it between 12 and 15 hours in the fridge, so it'll be perfect by the time we wake up. It'll be ready to go in the oven. All right, it is about 7:30 the next morning. We're gonna take this out. This has been going for just slightly over 12 hours, I believe. We're gonna score this. My oven has been preheating at 500 for almost an hour, so by the time we get it back in the oven, it'll be preheated for an hour. So let's put this on our parchment paper, figure out what kind of score I want to do, and let's bake it. I'm curious to see Last time, like in my past with scoring mine, it did not do the best job. Now I've done an 8-hour sourdough recipe, so like same day recipe, and it didn't score right, but like it was just kind of like falling back into its, like the score just wasn't showing. But they say that putting it in the fridge is supposed to help with that. Remember, I am a beginner with this. We are just doing this together. Oh yeah, that looks super nice. We're gonna take this and we're gonna dust some flour over it. Hold on, I'll help you, bud. All right, added some more. This is rice flour. All right, we're gonna take my score. I am so hopeful for this. I hope this scores better than my last ones did. I'm trying to see. I've been looking up different scores on TikTok, so we're gonna try a pretty easy one. Okay, I'm kind of disappointed. This is not super easy to score like I was hoping. Okay, maybe it's not too bad. This may not be super pretty, but we are gonna figure this out. I'm gonna get better at this. Finished scoring the bread. It actually looks really pretty right here. And then my Dutch oven had preheated for an hour at 500 degrees, so I stuck it in there. I also put a couple ice cubes on the bottom just because I've seen so many people do that. And then I put it back in the oven with the lid on for 20 minutes. And then I took the lid off, turned the temperature down to 475 for another about 15 minutes, and mine was brown and done. And this is how it turned out. It rose really well and looks really good. I think so. All right, so we are at almost an hour since I've taken it out of the oven. We're gonna cut into it. So it is pretty cooled off by now, but my scoring is not, like, you can't see it as good as, like, and this is kind of how it was last time too. The scoring is not, like, you can't see it as good. I don't know what I'm doing as far as, like, not being able to see it as good. I don't know, but like I've said many times, I am so new at this. I am learning the right ways to do it, the best ways to do it. I'm hoping it's not gummy in the middle. I'm hoping it has a really good taste to it. So we're gonna give it a try. I think if this turns out good, we're going to see how it turns out first of all, but I might bake another loaf to give to somebody if it's good. Like, I thought about giving it to my mom or something. Go ahead and feed my starter and start another loaf today because we don't have any plans today and I have time to do it. But let's cut into it. It has been almost an hour, but not quite an hour. I'm ready to cut into it because I want to eat a slice of this for breakfast this morning. All right, so let's cut a slice right here. Also, the bottom, I'm hoping it's not as, I don't think the bottom is as bad. I hope y'all can see it. The lighting is as bad as it was in the past. I know I've heard like a rice trick, put rice in the bottom of your pot, which I almost did that, but I wanted to try this recipe like completely, like how she did it before I tried anything else. So let's cut into her. Ooh, maybe a little gummy. Yeah, it is still, maybe just a little bit. So give it a try. Let's put some butter on it. Does anybody else, do you want me to cut y'all a piece?
Yes.
Does anybody else want a piece? Y'all want to share one? Okay, so Delaney says it is a little gummy. Not sure how to prevent that.
But it's good.
But she says it's good. So I've got my piece. I've got a little butter on it. I got the end piece right here. It's good. It tastes just like the other loaves I've made. I also don't know what like a perfected sourdough loaf tastes or looks like. So maybe it's, I'd say kind of gummy, but maybe it's supposed to be somewhat moist. But like Farmhouse on Boone, like I'm looking at her pictures and her pictures looks like dry in the middle, but like really good in the middle, but not, they don't look like gummy like this. It just looks a little different in the middle. So let me show y'all what the middle looks like now that I've got it kind of halfway cut, because I cut the, but it does kind of spring back, which is what sourdough does. So, but it is kind of gummy in the middle. It's just like I've made it before though. It's still so good. But I'd love any tips and tricks that some of y'all that are more experts than me have. I'm gonna go enjoy my bread with the kiddos. Hope you guys enjoyed coming along for my day yesterday and baking a loaf of sourdough bread from start to finish. And I'll see you guys soon for another video. Bye.